Okay, back to Janthir Wilds. Where were we? Storm clouds over Janthir. Take in your surroundings on Janthir Century. Map uncharted pockets of wilderness to the west. I have to sneeze. Ah, man. Gross, gross, gross. Oh, look at there's magnifying glasses over here. Everywhere. So I guess we should explore. Ah. Do we go this way and explore in this direction? Should we be getting map completion as we go? Maybe it's not such a bad idea, but can we actually cross over here? I want to try. So I do my best to get map completion while I'm doing story. I've just gotten into a habit of doing it. Man, we don't have sky scale on the main. How did this happen? Looks like we can also stand
I'm nigh invincible.
to raise the volume a little bit. Kitty kitty. Cat kitty cat. It's a thick bear on a large kitty. Kit kitty cat. Cat kitty cat. Okay. Oh, there's a mastery point up there. I wants that. No! Am I gonna make it? Nope. Into the water I go. Nope. Okay. We take these. Zoom. Beehive. You found a bloodstone-empowered beehive. Train the Janthir Explorer Proficiency Mastery and the Lowland Codon Mastery Track to use it. What's this do? Are we training it? Yes, that's what we're training right now. Okay, cool. We need more XP before we can start to harvest the bees. Commune, don't mind if I do. Map uncharted pockets of wilderness to the west. We have food. Yeah, we have food. 30 minutes. I guess we can pop another sharpening stone. Yep. Where to next? Should we go south? I feel like there's nothing really for us south. We'll go here. It'll probably push us back, right? And invisible wall. What I've enjoyed about this so far has been bears and, like, battle mage bears? Whoa. Such bear mighty magical powers. What's this up here? Janthir Century.
The bloodstone is morphing with the environment. Can't be good.
Oh yeah, it's starting to like kind of corrupt stuff. This just, it reminds me of White Mantle so much. White Mantle. White Mantle has been around for a long time, I'm realizing. Okay, so we go down here next and then head up this way. Perhaps. Because oh man, we hit something. We hit like a tree. I want to share this with you. I want to share this. This DM is amazing. Hello, that name. Yeah, I better just leave it covered. Suffice it to say, the name of the person that DM me is so hilarious, though. I didn't play in 4 years, and I still have more AP. Shout outs to Cheddar. So funny. Yo, I don't think I know somebody more naturally funny than Cheddar. Like, no cap, actually. I'm sorry. I thought somebody on the map was asking me for like help, and then I look down. I look at the name, and just trollolol. I still have so much to do. Okay, so we're gonna get back into it. I'm just gonna DM real quick. Oh, it is very difficult to return to Guild Wars after several X packs have been released, but it's also quite like, depending on how stressful the normal flow of things, like playing raids was hard to get into. I enjoy raids a lot. It's rarely anything that I do now, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to return to raids. It's just nice, like, to be able to return to the game and have, like, a story to do. It's because it's just, like, so casual. It's so relaxing, actually. The story's starting to heat up, I guess, now. We should probably head north. East. There's probably like 20 encounters I haven't done within strikes, raids, and CMs. And that's kind of enjoyable as well, to like be new again. It's cool. Ugh, I got credit. I showed up and poked him. Poked him a bye-bye. Yeah, so Cheddar is just telling me, you know, we're commiserating about what it's like to return as a returning player. But also Cheddar's name. It's so funny. The reason for the chat blocker is that there can be a lot of drama not having one. I try to avoid drama if I can. White Mantle. How long have the White Mantle been in this area? Were they there before the bears? The bears have been here for millennia. Waterproof chest. Unsent letter to Saul. Oh. The lore. The lore. I just remember how upset people were in the casual communities when raids were launched, and there was so much lore about, like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah, Saul. I don't know enough about Saul. It definitely split the community in half a little bit. This will need to be brief, as I believe my life to be at risk. The twins have been growing more and more impatient with my methods, usually quite tractable. Their voices have simmered to a calm eeriness that keeps me upright at all hours. Positioned so that the window and door are always in sight. I don't even leave my room without a guard most mornings. I suspect that they're bored with the ritual now, working less fervently to hide their victims' screams from the other villagers than they did at the start. It's a bloodbath. And that brings me to the villagers. They finally opened their eyes to the change in tone here. They won't enter any White Mantle structure unless ordered or dragged. They stopped eating our food. A few of them have even managed to escape. It was going so well until now, too. They were enamored with the result of our rebuilding efforts. I suppose too many have gone missing in such rapid succession. It's hard to blame every vanishing on a Valravn. I've tried to slow our movements, but I worry that this has caused a rupture that I cannot fix. The twins are done with me. I beg of you, come back and control this. Rhea. Unsent letter to Saul. Yeah, so we're talking about like weapons mastering. I only came back to Guild Wars because I had a spot to try out on a static that was doing Harvest Temple CM. And that was kind of a like, it might as well have been a dream actually, like, like the benchmark was 90% of whatever, you know, DPS class that I'm playing, which isn't like ridiculous considering my, my past. And so I thought, okay, this is gonna be great, you know, I have an opportunity to learn from somebody who plays my class, like how to do Harvest Temple. But it turns out, that when I started to commit to come back, like, to play the game, there's all these X packs that make or break your build option, and so I couldn't possibly contribute as a meta DPS until I complete the X packs. And so this was like astonishing to me, but like duh. It just happens to be like my first MMORPG, so I just wasn't expecting it to be that way, but it's definitely that way. And so instead of, you know, being able to try out, or I mean, technically I could have committed to just, you know, do less is more, and I didn't even need to have meta weapons as long as my damage was high enough, and it could have very well been. I just refused to fulfill the requirements without like revisiting a quality of life that I once had in this game. So it's been a very slow journey to get back into you know, some sort of comfortability where I can actually play in the same kind of environment that I used to, which is like high-level instanced content for raids and CMs. And I do miss it. I miss the community the most. It's been a very interesting realization that the community matters more than the gameplay itself. It's very odd, you know, that I play a game not for the gameplay content, but for the community that's involved in that endgame content. But that's what Guild Wars 2 has kind of convinced me of. It's more about the people and the relationships that we build with those people, and the grind and the struggle and the journey together. And it actually, I know it's kind of cheesy, than it is about the content itself, albeit like the content is important, and like those that struggle together can commiserate as well as have like a deeper sense of camaraderie together. So that's what's so valuable about this experience. And so in reality, what I'm grinding towards is being able to participate in that environment again, and, you know, rub elbows with these types of people that are insistent upon building competency and contributing effectively in a very complex kind of environment. And so MMORPGs represent that to me now, but at first it was just like a bunch of friends are playing this game, let's go play this game. And I didn't really pay too much attention to it. Another thing is, I chose Ellie because it was considered to be one of the most overtuned class at the time. And now it's kind of been balanced a bit, you know, so I feel like it's not the most overtuned class. It has the highest, or one of the higher skill ceilings for DPS rotation in the game, but it's not necessary in terms of contributing like top tier DPS. There are a lot of other options that do just as much DPS, if not more, in most circumstances with half the effort, so whatever, it's okay. Flexing is important. Spear requires Janthir wilds, and for that we have achieved the spear now. Having different weapons options requires Secrets of the Obscure, and we definitely have that now. We're missing a couple mounts across the accounts, but those are not really necessary. It's more of like a QOL thing. It was also advised, you know, not to have an alt account, and I can see why, but I didn't understand it at first. If we didn't have an alt account, we probably would have been joining that group and, you know, submitting our DPS logs to the lead and being able to, you know, participate in Harvest Temple. But it isn't about Harvest Temple, it's about the way that the game feels, and having experienced so much of the game and having a certain way of playing the game, I care more about the quality of life that I can have in this game, because it's very relaxing to have a certain quality of life. Albeit everybody's standards are going to be a bit different. Having high standards is not really advised, I would say. Less is more. Less is more. Less is more makes life so much easier. Having high standards, especially towards the like verge of perfectionism, I would say is like a bit unhealthy or unwise. But to each his own, I guess. In a game where the most important thing is fashion, as long as a person's satisfied with their fashion, I really don't think it matters how they play the game. And, yeah. I'm just determined to follow through with old ambitions. And so, returning to raids is gonna wait. It's very nice to be able to just hang out and play Janthir Wilds and not focus on DPS or trying to convince other people that we belong, which is essentially what's happened in raids. Is there's a blurred line between performance and ego, and like my performance in a game doesn't represent like who I am as a person, but it does enable access to certain communities. Or if I don't find the will to contribute effectively in those communities, I don't belong there. And I can't really participate in the dialogue or, you know, the camaraderie or the struggle. So it's very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Playing a game for the community has been a very, very interesting kind of choice. And Guild Wars 2 is the first time I've experienced that. Never really knew that before. Guild Wars. Okay, so we've just been ranting and wandering about over here. Let's continue down to the magnifying glasses. Also, I can't really talk as much in DMs as I would like to. Spotted by testimony with badges. What are your goals? So yeah, I don't understand the conversation as anything like more than open-ended, so I'm trying to like zoom in on the goals that they have. So I think it's been 4 years. What did they say? 4 years. It's been 4 years. Oh, nice. Nice. I don't know the Warclaw. The Warclaw is the big busted. Finish the story modes. Due to an activity, you are no longer participating in the help the Codon gather foraged plants and animal meat. Okay, that's fine. I didn't really need credit for that anyway. So yeah, it can be very helpful to have a chat blocker if streaming. That's interesting. I think it's cool when players don't have a chat blocker, because then I get to see what everybody's typing to each other. But it's also very helpful to kind of protect the anonymity of other people. And not everybody wants to be put on blast. And why should another person anticipate that their dialogue with me is, like, shown on the internet? They shouldn't. So, just keep the chat blocked. Yeah, it's important to, you know, it's important to help other players, and this is the biggest thing about this game, is that the amount of times I've been helped by other people who, like, stick around to play the game just so they can help other people is kind of wild. And so I do care about being a bit mindful for that. Collection available. I think we already got this. It doesn't look like we wandered near there, though. Okay, let's go. Yeah, raids are great. Raids are important. And struggling to be able to participate in raids taught me a couple things about myself, but also just about what I care about, you know? The ghost floats idly, unfazed by your presence. What's that you're reading?
Curfew? Since when?
Confused
All
ghost.
these new rules are making me nervous. I moved all the way out here to escape this kind of thing. I guess I'll ask about it at Town Hall tonight.
What did we get? We got some kind of book? Our inventory is kind of full. Maybe we should clean it.
Now this is a find.
Mini Waiting Sorrow. Let's add this to our wardrobe. I wonder who that was. Like, it wasn't a lowland Kodan, apparently. Like, who was that? I want to know. I do enjoy the story. One of the biggest criticisms I've heard from various different people is that they don't like the story, they don't enjoy the lore, and I can imagine, like, why you wouldn't want to play this game if you don't like the story or the lore. I find it charming and endearing. I like the characters balancing each other, and then, like, the stress that refined Braum into what they are now, as well as the transition that, oh my god, I forgot their name. Ridlock. That Ridlock had to go through when like, emerging from the mists. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think it's got a cool storyline. I enjoy it. Not everybody enjoys it. I also happened to catch up on Living World Season 2 as, like, a full, like, film, cutscene, etc. So that was kind of necessary. I didn't really understand what the battle for LA was before that. But the community is really strong. Everybody's helping each other, and although in certain spots it can be toxic, for the most part, that only applies to raids. And to be honest, like, raids are a bit like a job, and a job is very frustrating to attend if other people show up, get paid just as much, do less than half the work, and make, like, me stay overtime. So I would be very upset if that happened at a job. And in raids, it has to be taken seriously, kind of like a job. Who plays games for that? But it is kind of an analog in life. Like there are some difficult tasks that we cannot possibly overcome if we don't work together and find a way to take our varying skill sets and combine them. So I find it very nice, very like predictable. It's expected that not everybody can participate. That's just the way life works. Not everybody is going to win. Not everybody is going to get access. Some people work harder than others, and some people have the privilege to do so.
Rare and valuable.
It's a difficult, hard line, I would say. One of the most enjoyable gaming experiences I've ever had, though, is working together and overcoming the raid obstacles in Guild Wars. I've seen many different friends come and go, many different groups appear and disappear. And it has forced me to confront the perfectionism that I have inside of me in a very unique way. Grappling with perfection is kind of an astounding refinement. It's so punishing to choose perfection and to chase after it when excellence is like superior in every regard. It's also kind of a guilt trip in a way to have so many people have helped me. I feel compelled to pay it forward. So that's a very nice, interesting aspect of the game. It was kind of a side effect of the design and the community, something I didn't expect. Fascinating. Let's get rid of our junk. Okay, we got some more room here, nice. So Cheddar is OP, and I don't really want to talk about too much about them behind their back, but yeah. Very few people do I know as naturally funny as Cheddar. The big cheese. So I think what's very interesting about raids is also like you can or you can't. Some things in life are more like you can or you can't. Music is you can or you can't. There's been times when I've, done very well. Oh man, am I dying? Been able to do very well in music, and there's times where I can't. And the times that I couldn't is more of a skill issue. And in certain aspects of life, there are skill issues where you just are not able to participate, not able to get the rewards. And as harsh as it sounds, I really do appreciate and approve of these kind of circumstances because it's just like the nature of life. You go out to hunt, but don't catch anything. People don't eat. You go to do raids, but your DPS is really low. You don't possibly have a chance at winning. And while there's been a heavy-handed complaint, layered against the developers in the game for being hard or whatever, like, life is hard, and there are portions of life that get harder, especially losing a loved one. Like, there's no way to possibly recover in a meaningful way when you lose a loved one without the help of other people. It's just not possible.
Controlled, at least. Could have been a lot worse.
Okay, up here? I guess we need to get this. We want to get there, and then we can kind of pivot around from that waypoint, especially to that mastery point. So I guess we head northwest. Story time. So the first person I ever lost was an auntie of mine, and she passed away, and nobody told me. Nobody told me that she had passed. And so went to a funeral, and I didn't go in any of the areas that would have like depicted, you know, what a funeral would be like, cemetery, gravestones, anything like this. And I found out months later, maybe even years later, I don't recall exactly, but way later, that they had passed away. And I just remembered them not being around. And so nobody really told me, nobody really wanted to confront this issue. Grieving is a part of life. Grieving is very difficult. Grieving can either bring us closer together or separate us, make us further, you know, grow further apart. Rotted Titan Amber. I can harvest this? Oh, that's interesting. Defeat the Jade Construct. I think we fight this. If we get a little bit more XP, we can finish Janthir Explorer Proficiency. I want to fight. Champion Jade Armor. Can we fight this? Hold up. I have second thoughts. I have second thoughts. Elite Rune Shard Scuttler. Maybe we can fight this a little bit easier. It's half dead anyway. And so the complexity of the emotional turbulence that becomes, you know, a necessity in life when we lose loved ones, it doesn't become a perfect science. There's no like perfect way to overcome that. But leading on and developing an awareness of the struggle from another person helps to soften the blow and ultimately bring about like a bigger picture awareness. It's like we all come from nature, and we all find our way to survive, and sometimes we are the dominant factor. Like in cities, we have all this food coming in and out of the city. How hard the hunter works to gather the resources to hunt, or what the animal suffers, is something we start to ignore. But in nature and in life, there's a ebb and flow, there's a cycle of things, there's a balance. So I don't think it's a good idea to avoid the reality of like harsh realities. I think it's just part of the human experience that we can, you know, refine further within ourselves and embolden our capacity to contribute. I think when we start to deny these things, we create obstacles. Obstacles towards communion or harmony. We sow so much discord. It's frustrating. Things in life can be hard. But if we struggle together, we can improve beyond what we thought was possible. What is this cache? Major Codon cache? You need a key to open this chest. What is the character? So... Cheddar is a mesmer main. They did something to Continuum Split, I don't remember exactly what. Yeah, so raids being hard and kind of like a harsh reality, it just takes me back to the loss of a loved one, which is very interesting because ego is not something to avoid losing. I think we should kind of strive to shake the ego a bit. Groans. What's that you're holding in your hand? A History Most Violent, Part 1.
Already taken over 3 of the vacated
Completed
homes.
4 out of 11 steps.
If you would permit me, sir, I have a proposition. There's a big bog just south of us on the mainland. Perhaps I could store the bodies there. It's big and discreet.
Yeah, sure. Whatever keeps them out of my house.
Consider it done.
Yeah. The complexity of struggle engages our spirit in a very unique way, and when we divert the true reflection of humanity from this kind of struggle, we become weak as a society, I think. That's why, despite how hard it's been to watch like various communities split apart as a result of how like hard, like big hard raids are, as long as there is a compassionate person to train others, it doesn't really matter how weak a player is. They always have a chance, and they can always improve gradually, as long as they're not like being shouted at, being kicked all the time. And so I think that that's just kind of part of the process. I think it's being lost more and more. People are being encouraged to have an easier path to victory, I think. Not everything should be like raids though, lol. Which is why I'm enjoying JW so much. It feels just like another part of the story. And I do enjoy the story. Raids are fun. It's not everything the game is. Neither is PvP or World vs. World. Look at this dude. Scout Eager Elm. How's it looking out there? I've seen worse. Just watch your step. I can't get these. Damn it. Beehive? I'm trying to think here. This is such a great conversation. I'm just rambling off, but I'm also having a nice DM chat with Cheddar. So raids requires flexing of DPS. And I've decided to commit to playing the 3 like classes in all of the statics that I join. I haven't joined a single one yet. I'm only in my own guild, but I will be joining 4 other guilds or 4 other statics soon. Raids have always been a pivot, you know. It's nice to have the other content come out, but once raids became a thing and I struggled to get good at them, it became a very like enjoyable thing to do. It's probably the most enjoyable thing that I can do in Guild Wars, although it's not something I've done very much of since I've returned, and that's because I have high ambitions for my main and my ult regarding fashion because of inner logos. It's so funny, like like one person's generosity, I never really expected it, and this is kind of another reason why I don't accept generosity too much from other people. When people are generous with me, I tend to try to pay it forward, or I tend to buff or bump up the complexity of a goal, and that's not like a healthy thing, I think. Inner logos, I just don't know if they would want me talking about it in this way. Let's just say their generosity helped me achieve a goal that I thought was like very ambitious and I was going to work very hard towards, and it completed it like almost instantaneously as a real result of their generosity. And so what I did was like, okay, how can I like step up the complexity of my ambition? And so I did, And I've been playing this game for 6 months again. Like, I've returned, and I thought I was just going to be, you know, an HTCM prog, just, you know, benchmarking 90% on Ellie, in order to figure out that really I have all this extra stuff to do before I become the same QOL that I once had when I quit, as well as the proper contribution in whatever group I want to join. It's super grindy. It's super weird. But it's also helped me kind of embrace the grind and kind of understand and really think about where I was when I first started playing raids in this game to where I am now. Like, I don't care at all about impressing people or about flexing. And this is going to sound very arrogant, but maybe there's another way to put it. I had this conversation about expectations, and, you know, I have like 1,000 raid clears, so that gives me like 1,000 legendary insights worth of kill proof. I don't think it's unrealistic to expect to play with other players who have a minimum of 1,000 raid clears. And there's a counter to that, and the argument is that what if that mentality becomes built into a person who has like 3,000 raid clears or 4,000 raid clears? And where does that put them, you know? It puts them in a position where they're very lonely, very isolated. I don't know if it's an intentional thing to look at community and vetting and camaraderie and how to contribute or how to, you know, exist in within the dynamic of how difficult raids are, because raids are big hard. Raids are actually big hard. And if everybody just takes it super easily, nobody's really going to complete the raids, and it's not going to be as fun as completing the raids. And the quality of life that I had before I quit was full clearing raids twice a week. And that's great gold, and it's great for fashion and great for like a lot of other stuff, but it's also the camaraderie and the community and the communication and just the enjoyment of the flow, the experience. It's very fun. It's very nice. In order for me to retrieve that, I have to, well, I don't have to, but I want to fulfill an old ambition when it comes to fashion. And so that ambition is something that I'll probably make a video about, explaining why I did it and what it is. But yeah, my end game in this game is unique, and I think as long as a person is satisfied with their end game, then they're doing it right as a veteran or end game player. And don't let me tell you how to play this game, right? I definitely don't think other people should be trying out like this particular end game goal. But customizing this experience and feeling like, you know, a sense of accomplishment from it is a very unique experience, and it cannot be achieved in like a much less complex game. So I've heard a lot of complaints about grinds and MMOs and why people don't want to play them. The greater the risk, the greater the reward, the more complexity and severity of time invested, you know, as it applies to how much time we have to spend and wait in order to achieve something, the greater the sense of satisfaction that there can be. This reminds me of a concept. I was talking to a buddy of mine who has a master's degree in animation, and they said it doesn't really feel as great as they expected it to feel because of, you know, the job economy, etc. But what it actually does is it vets them against other people who haven't committed themselves to a 4-year program. It puts them in a special like category that those other people do not fit into. And it shows that they are willing to commit themselves to excellence for 4 years. And that kind of commitment is cherished and sought after when dividing up the population in terms of job opportunity. So I can respect that and I can appreciate it. And I feel you know, it's worth mentioning that at Guild Wars, you don't have to do that. And I really don't have to do that. But also, I have a bad habit of not finishing the things that I start. And so in Guild Wars, it's also a kind of way for me to grapple against that bad habit that I've developed, is just to follow through. And so there's so many things to be said about the interpersonal relationship in design and pragmatism regarding just games in general. But this MMO in particular has brought out like a very a very conscious consideration of my character flaws. Not all of them, maybe, but some of them. And it has also helped me understand, like, there are some jobs and there are some roles in life that if people don't do them, we all suffer. And so that's why having experience as a tank in this game for various raid statics helped me understand that a good tank can carry a group as long as the DPS is not absolute, like, garbage. Whereas you can be really big DPS, but if you don't have strong support, you can't really get through the encounter. And so it does kind of work both ways, but if a person had to be one or the other, why not make it both? Why not play support and DPS? But that's in our past. I will never ambition to play support in this game ever again, in like a serious way. I want to be able to just main DPS. And so that's something that's also evolved over time. Is I used to play DPS in the groups that I played in, but it turned out that I was the weakest. My DPS was actually pretty high, but it turned out that I was like the weakest in the group when it came to like the full flex across certain encounters. And so it became better for me to play support Chrono and be in Chrono Jail. And I'd much rather be in Chrono Jail when my DPS is weaker in comparison to like other players than force myself to play DPS. It's difficult to play DPS at the highest level in this game because you have to flex so much. So if you don't take the time to learn all the rotations and optimize their position per encounter, then you can't really compete with other players that do that. It's been very, very enjoyable to have this kind of like training arc for whatever I'm being trained for in this game, I guess, in real life and the way that it works out. Carved wall. Ooh. What are these? Did we spawn these? Or are they always there? I wonder. That's weird. Oh, let me change this up here. Superior Sigil of Strength. Can we... Superior Sigil of... Let's go. Condition. Gain a charge of 10 condition? Okay. So we have a Superior Sigil of Bloodlust and a Superior Sigil of Corruption. I like this. I like that. Okay. Yeah, keybinds are ridiculous. So many keybinds, and the other thing too is if you come back from a long hiatus and there's like new mounts, I don't know, it's kind of rough. Ooh, lore. Then you have to add more keybinds. So much game. There's too much game. It's a lot of game. Inquisitor. Let's drink some water here. Still feeling very over-caffeinated. Despite the changing of the guard, I guess, from community to community that I've been in, the most important thing is contribution. Some groups don't care about contribution whatsoever, and everybody has the privilege and somewhat the luxury to be casual. But, in order to avoid toxicity, it's better to go into a vetted group and place high expectations on each other, and accept and become conditioned to high expectations, than it is to casually stroll through casual communities and place extraordinarily unrealistic high expectations on the player base. That was a very, very difficult, long lesson for me to learn. I learned it in Guild Wars. There were a lot of little things that came together for me to learn that, but it was really felt and kind of worked out in the game through the player base. Kind of curious, you know? Inquisitor Macalina's journal, page 1. Ray is dead. The twins care more about the killing than the purpose. This place was a beacon for 5 minutes, until it turned into a house of flagellantism? Flagellantism. I've never seen that word before. Flagellantism. I think I'm saying it right. All of the Gabriel's citizens are now gone. A few managed to escape, but most of them died on the Bloodstone. I don't even remember when the last one was killed. A year ago now? 2? We've been killing each other for so long, I can hardly separate killing for survival over killing for the ritual. What happened here? One day, we were following Saul's vision in pursuit of the Golden City, and now I can't sleep without fear. Surely I lifted a brow when he said that he found such a city tucked in the Isles. Even without proof, I stayed loyal. I followed. But when he asked us to stay behind on the order of the Unseen Ones... That's it? Page 1? No! Why you only give it... Yo, it's only 1 page? The bees, I can't even touch the bees. Okay, let's keep moving here. Random ranting. This game is great. What I used to do in this game is much different than what I'm doing now, and it's given me a lot of time to pause and think about the way that I approach games and the way that I approach relationships. It's just kind of interesting as I develop my musical abilities in my career to know that to inspire other people in an effortless way to be at their best in music, I have to be something kind of fierce and obviously like skilled. And so if I don't work hard to maintain a skill set in music, whether it's tuning my voice or practicing the songs that I wrote or practicing covers to be able to perform at my best, then I can't really inspire very easily. And I have to make a lot of logic as a supplement. And so similarly, I think in this game, the players that have inspired me the most just have this kind of effortless vibe to their competency. But it's because they take great pride and they put forth great effort to be as skilled and as knowledgeable in this game. Not for the sake of it, just because they enjoy it, usually. And then they're willing to translate that knowledge and information to me, just because they're kind of like excited, like a kid on Christmas, just like, ooh, look at this, come check this out. And that curiosity and that whimsy to the game is why I come back to it. It's why I enjoy it so much. Town Notice. Memorial for Justiciar Ray. We regret to inform the people of Kavril that our guiding knight, so ardent, has passed. Justiciar Ray, our eyes are on your back as you walk up the golden path. Her battle against illness was brief and sadly, it was quickly lost. But every swing was radiant. A memorial will be held for Ray in the coming days. Listen for song, you'll know what to do. Trying so hard to fit in early on before I joined the groups that I was in, I spent a lot of time playing every single DPS and getting them up to at least 75%. And my thought was that if I can benchmark 75% on Golem, then I could at least have a decent opener and decent damage throughout the encounter and kind of figure it out and improve if I want to. But during that time period, there was always one DPS, maybe two, that stood out as the highest DPS options. And so I would just pivot to whatever was top tier meta for DPS and just play those things in the raids for pugs. And eventually, it became like, kind of apparent that I was overachieving and that, more and more people kept inviting me. And at some point I was getting full clears and I was still getting invited. I'm like, this is kind of... It felt like a waste of time, which is maybe an arrogant thing to say, because I feel like raids are a privilege, and to get invited by people is kind of a privilege in a way, to join their group or whatever and to sub for them. But it was kind of obnoxious for me to spend time doing raids the second time without getting the reward. And so I knew that it was time to get an alt account. And so I did. And I was warned not to have it, and there were only a handful of people that I knew that had them. But being as ambitious as I am, I do want to be able to flex, at least, throughout the light armor class. It's not necessary. Ooh, there's something underneath us. How do I get underneath? There must be a cave. I wonder if it's this way. I kinda wanna find it out. It's gotta be down here somewhere. Ooh, a cave. And so, I mean, there's so many new encounters that have come out since I've been away.
Serene.
I don't really care so much about the
This place
encounters.
would be pretty nice if it had a kinder history. Map's shaping up. I should get back to camp, share what I saw.
I don't really care about the encounters as much, and I'm not really looking forward to benchmarking. But benchmarking is so necessary if I want to contribute effectively. And once we finish demos for Envoy 2 on the alt account, which is to say the second time that I've completed Perfected Envoy, it'll be time for us to benchmark all DPS options for Necromancer, Mesmer, and Elementalist. What a pain it is to do benchmarks. What a pain it is to have ARC. I feel like it makes me so much more toxic to witness other players' DPS. Like, I'm so willfully blind and happy to be unaware of, like, what numbies other people are hitting and what numbies I'm hitting. All I know is that it's sufficient. I don't really have to judge harshly other people. That puts me in a very positive mental, like, attitude. It really changes the way the game feels to know what the contribution is from the other players. All I used to do was care about it. Now, it just seems irrelevant until it's not. And if we're going to join groups based on contribution, we are going to have to care about those numbers. We have to finish demos. We're so close. I'd much rather do all the other fun stuff, like complete Janthir Wilds and get a turtle and Skyscale on the main. I need a roller beetle and turtle on the alt. And unlocking the mastery points. Like, we have so many mastery points on the main to unlock still. Not to mention the alt. And it's been kind of nice to be able to do that. Suffice it to say as well, the toxicity in the game regarding raids is much different now than it used to be. It's much easier to find coaching and training, and although it's almost exclusively raid sellers in the raid section, there are plenty of guilds, there are plenty of statics, and yeah, there are plenty of groups if you know what to look for to join and to be able to kind of grow into the roles that you want. There's a lot more pugging back when I was active, especially at the beginning. That doesn't seem to be the case. There's very, very little pugging. I guess we grab these two POIs and then move back to the objective. We'll finish this portion of Janthir Wilds and we're going to move on to other stuff. Got maybe like an hour left or so. Do we go down? Is there more stuff down here? Oh wow. Oh no. Run away! Leave me alone! I wasn't expecting to get attacked down there. Okay. It's gonna sound sick maybe, but my favorite thing about raids is if you fail your role, or if your DPS is low, like your teammates just die. That's so funny. It's not die like in Portal 2 where you like respawn, it's like, you have to restart that whole thing over again. I very much enjoy it. I wonder which games have the best raids now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to play another MMORPG in my life. Probably just Guild Wars. I wonder how long this game will be around, and if the rumors are true about Guild Wars 3. I've heard rumors. Rumors I've heard. Report your findings to Grace by Fire. Let's go.
Thanks. With a better understanding of the area, our chances for survival go up. Respect the Isle's boundaries, we must. Couple more things you could do to help around here, if you have breath to spare. To start, Whispers of Wind is looking into the Stranger's Blight. Not a bad idea to work with her, see what all she needs. And for me? Well, information. I mentioned the wildlife before, and that is not improved. I suspect the Stranger's influence, but we should confirm. See if there's anything we can do to help them. I need you to subdue the frenzied creatures and take a blood sample for me. Maybe there's a cure, or we'll know if there's not. Here, I've got the supplies set up for you.
What's this? Still bundle. Dart animal. Shoot a dart tipped with animal pacifying salve. Pacified. 10 seconds. This creature has been darted with pacifying salve. Okay. Collect health data. Collect health data on a temporary pacified animal. Okay. Return to Grace by Fire to obtain another bow for indexing wildlife health. Okay.
Hear what happened, the Guiding Stars expedition team? They were attacked not once.
Index
twice.
sickly wildlife health in slithering outskirts. Okay, I see. Green locations here. Can we grab this now? Didn't we upgrade enough so that we can get this? Janthir Explorer Proficiency. You've learned the secrets of using Bloodstone-empowered beehives in Janthir Sentry to refresh skill cooldowns, as well as the ability to purchase additional Codon cash keys from coin collectors. Okay. Hungry. How do I get these bees? Bearkin harvesting techniques, I see. I think we need to max this out before we move on to the other stuff because it gives us extra loot. Additional currency items and more experience. Yeah, we definitely want to cap that first. Okay. Whoa, that's a big radius. Alright, let's go. Another thing that's been so surprising is how helpful everybody has been in this game. And what's interesting is, like, people that are very helpful in ways outside of, like, the more stressful and elite content, like raids, PvP, and world versus world, can be helped, like, from other players who return to them. Ooh, it's a duck and you're sickly. Get darted.
Right to sleep. Hopefully this data helps.
I got some data on this duck. Dude, look at this duck. It's like as big as I am. You giant duck. Oh, what was that? No, leave me alone. Kitty, kitty. There's another one. Get darted. And so before I entered raids, which is like it's like surprisingly difficult to be good at raids, I think. And that's why if we go over here and check raids experienced, there's just selling. This static, They have a Discord. And maybe we can message them. Let's see. DPS for returning veteran, looking for raid static. So now we start a dialogue here, and that's interesting, you know? We don't have the caliber because we don't maintain the skill set for raids. But depending on how...
Right to sleep.
inefficient the static is, we might just fit in right away. And so, I mean, we gotta start somewhere, and there's nothing wrong with you know, starting kind of maybe near the bottom, I don't know. Something's better than nothing, and right now, we avoid raids altogether because we have high expectations and high ambitions. But now's a good time, I think, to start getting back into it. It was once the most enjoyable thing for me to do in the game, and since our return, we've really not been doing it outside of training. But we do have Wing 1 through 6 full clear experience, and that's saying quite a bit, actually. Yeah, anyway. Raids are hard, and I would like to be doing them again, but I'm very, very happy to be doing Janthir Wilds and just kind of taking it easy.
There we go.
There's a lot of game, and it's nice to be able to return to a game and have like
This data helps.
an unbearably large amount of things to do in a way, because it's always going to be interesting and enjoyable, I think. I'm getting hungry. Kitty kitty.
Right to sleep.
Index sickly wildlife health
Hopefully this
in
data
slithering
helps.
outskirts. Okay. Raccoon. Trash panda. I'm hungry. Hungry, hungry. Hungry, hungry, hungry. I think there's two major discrepancies, like misconceptions, I would say. Two major misconceptions that can occur. Placing unrealistic expectations on people is definitely a thing, and it can cause a lot of conflict. So, if I'm training and I'm pugging, there's kind of a different mentality. If I'm training, I feel safe to ask questions and to make mistakes, and I don't really need to know what's going on. It's all up to the coach or the trainer to really know kind of everything there is to know about the encounter and answer all the questions. If I'm pugging, I kind of just want to play something that contributes effectively and, you know, get by with a clear. But in a static, what's so kind of charming is that every player is unique and responsible for their role every week, and they just get better and better over time, at least hopefully, right? Some players, some people just never find a way to improve and never want to do more than the minimum. I'm not really like that. I'm not really like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it makes sense to be that way. But when it comes to raids, I don't really feel like it's healthy if the clears are not going to be one-shot. If the clears are not one-shot, I need to find a way to continuously improve to the point where they can be. And if other players don't have that mentality, then there's a raid fatigue that sets in. And I don't want to experience that raid fatigue. We need to go back and just be around here, I guess. It's actually debilitating to have that attitude throughout the group. Because if everybody's just getting by, like, the encounters are going to suffer. They're going to be slow to clear, if they're cleared at all. I don't know. Raid clears are good gold, and a speedrun is not a speedrun if you fail once. So there's safety strats that can be used. And if you're using safety strats with this much power creep in Guild Wars to do raids, then they should be like pretty simple. If you're running low armor configurations to boost DPS off the tanks, and the same for the healers, and like the healers and the tanks are hitting like 20k on phase, like, I don't know. Like, it should eventually be a one-shot scenario. Yeah, ramping DPS in order to fail multiple times doesn't make a lot of sense. That's not really where I want to be. So I hope that I can join some statics that are pretty casual and that use safety strats and that just, you know, something that I can kind of feel comfortable learning the new encounters in. As opposed to having high expectations and raid logs. I don't think I'm really quite there yet. I don't really want to be parsing DPS that much. Just want to be chill and get my feet wet again into raids and kind of, you know, get back into the habit of practicing my benchmarks. It's really, really hard for me to resolve into a less is more, considering how much more I did in raids. Woo! Dude, the Warclaw's so busted. Crazy. Kitty got a buff. Index sickly wildlife health and slithering outskirts. How is it that we can't find any more animals? What has happened? Where are they? Where are all the sickly animals?
Bloodstone? Oh, sure smells like it. Camp's just around the corner.
Ooh, I see one.
Right to sleep. Hopefully this data helps.
Gathering this data.
I've beaten you, but you don't know it yet.
The bee is scared. Come back, bee. Oh, it's disappeared. What is this? Mistburned Warclaw. So are these enemies mistburned? Whoa, that Warclaw's going ham right now. That was cool.
That's not good.
Return to Grace by Fire to obtain another bow for indexing wildlife
Party
health.
straight to camp.
Okay. Wow, there's something going on over here. I guess we can get some XP.
I'm nigh invincible.
When life gets difficult, and I need somebody to help me, the response is empathetic. I need empathy. I value the capacity for empathy very highly now, and I never really cared too much about it. But when shit hits the fan, I don't need sympathy, I need empathy. And if I can't find it, I feel very confused. I feel very lost and typically very desperate. And so I've learned to focus on relationships that have a high degree of empathy. It's a high standard, I think, but it's a good standard. It's a standard and a capacity that I maintain the integrity of. So maybe it's unrealistic and unrealistic an expectation to place on other people, but I don't know a better way to be.
Let's get this over.
Slithering outskirts. Index sickly wildlife health. So we just need a couple more of these. And we're good to go.
There we go. Hopefully this data helps.
Just a brief explanation of what I'm doing for my endgame. This entire look, I'm copying across every character that I have on my alt account. And it's really not easy to do. And I'm going to retire this look from my main account. And I'm never going to use it again on my main. But it's going to be every character that I have on my alt account. that is a very silly... it's a very silly end game to have, but it's so meaningful to me, and I set this up a long time ago. Like 4 years ago, something like this, I decided that I was going to do this. And then rather than give up on it, I just decided to follow through with it, even though like 3 X-Packs came out since I decided to do it. And I never anticipated that the X-Packs would influence my like ability to contribute at a high level in raids. I never thought that that would be a thing. I should have known better, I guess, but whatever, I didn't. And so there we go. Slow the expanding creep of Titan blight and festering basin. Okay.
I'm nigh invincible.
These things grant themselves protection. What's this over here? Marsat relic.
Vitality restored. Rocks and stones will break your bones.
Do these deal damage to me? Yeah, they do. Okay. I guess there's a separate trigger to disable it? Oh, that's interesting. The most important thing in this game is fashion. But not just fashion, but the personalization of the fashion, the lore. I think the highest possible aesthetic that can be achieved is when players decide on the lore for their fashion, their characters. Nothing like this is possible in Warframe, which is kind of sad. Because like the lore is already built into the character and it's really predefined. Whereas in Guild Wars, you can make your character kind of be basically anything within the universe for Guild Wars and kind of figure it out. Or you can... I really don't enjoy this kind of fashion, but there's another kind of fashion where you like take IP from like universes outside of Guild Wars and you can just implement it in the game. For example, like making Batman, you know, whatever iteration of Batman you want to occur in the game, etc. Or like Optimus Prime, kind of. There's like all sorts of ways to do that. What am I supposed to be doing here? I'm supposed to help the Kodan to kill these enemies, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't enjoy that. It's just not personally my style, but I do respect it and appreciate it when I see other people do it. I said it before, I'll say it again. It's ultimately about the individual's self-satisfaction of their fashion. If they enjoy their fashion, they're winning. And the real endgame is fashion, so...
Are you
yeah.
okay? If you need someone to talk to...
It worked. I'm fine. There's another stranger.
Are you sure? What did you find?
It's so wild.
Here. There's a smell. It's not like the one we fought. If you head north, we can meet at the research camp.
I'm on my way. Don't get your paws dirty before
Poised Arrow is too green to be doing this. Let's go. Where do we go? Kitty kitty. I have a kitty. Should we use food? Maybe we should use some food. I'm getting accosted. Yeah. Let's eat this and then we'll eat this. Okay. Can I only actually get the benefit of one at a time? Only one attribute stacking sigil can be active at a time. Oh man. I see. What is the force, I guess? I guess then we get force? Ah, how to spell. I guess we just get force then. Oh no, I'm in combat. I was wondering why I saw only one stacking sigil. Come on. Okay. Where are we going? To the Green Star, let's go. It looks like there's some lore back here, though. Kinda want to go back here and see what's going on with this extra lore marker. Look how big this bee is. You're massive, bruh. Giant bee.
Hear what happened to Guiding Star's expedition team? They were attacked not once, but twice. This isle is trouble, it is.
Not by a stranger, I hope.
Graced by fire.
They told me.
Curious these
According
findings
to
are.
Guiding Star,
The
one was
animals remain
enormously
themselves,
rotten.
but they are
Creatures
enraged.
on this island are never just rabbits or
Inconsolable.
bees. They have to be beasts.
Something about the stranger's aura has twisted their sense of reality. Frenzied, indeed. I don't know if this is curable. Death? A kinder fate. I suppose the more we learn of the strangers, answers may come then.
Chatted by fire completed. Okay. One thing left to do. Venture north, and I think we have to help out for the Sacred Heart here. Well, let's do it. Beetle Roller. So I have the Roller Beetle on the main, but not on the alt. And I have the Sky Scale on the alt, but not the main. Tell me how that makes sense. It just doesn't.
It was completely preventable. Your friend very likely won't be returning to the field now.
A burn. How dramatic you Skywatchers are.
A burn? No. His fur was singed from paw to shoulder. Ah, Wayfinder. Welcome back. We were just discussing an incident.
Dustbringer will be fine. Do you think this is the first time we've done such things? Listen, the lightning rods are not only diverting the strikes from the camp, but we're collecting energy with each blast. Your wards may be useful, but why expend energy when we don't need to? Save that strength for the strangers.
Fine. But if any more, you won't stop me from healing them on the spot. Magic or no?
Except that I can.
Vitality restored! I'm nigh invincible.
I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I'm certain of it. There's another one. A lot of us here have witnessed the same. Everyone's moving to collect as much data as they can.
This is a solid lead, Pokey. Let's see how we can help.
We find it, we kill it, and everything will go back to normal.
Help the Codon conduct research on the Titan and the power it draws from its territory. Okay. I'm doing it. I'm cooking fish and chips tonight or tomorrow. if I don't cook them tonight, I'm making pancakes, which is a weird thing to be making so late in the day. But pancakes from scratch actually are kind of hard to make. I find them difficult anyway. Where do I go? So we just need to like do events in this area. And we'll get credit, hey?
Storm's rolling in again, and the strangers will emerge when it does. All camps should brace for the assault. I'm nigh invincible.
It's so inconvenient to target every single enemy. It like lowers my APM so significantly. It's something that I'm forcing myself to get better at and actually get accustomed to.
I need to cool my coat.
Because somebody very experienced in dungeons does it, and I also I also like slow them down when I run dungeons with them because of auto targeting. So I've had to get used to it. It's very awkward. I've gotten used to it actually quite a bit, but it's annoying to do. It's a lot less efficient at clearing trash, but it's a lot better during dungeons. It's funny to care about dungeons, actually. I hope they never change dungeons. I do like them, even though I'm not great at them.
It was completely preventable. Your friend very likely won't be returning to the field.
This whole area can give us Sacred Heart, so let's just wander around here. Let's grab this mastery point for sure. Ooh, someone's down over here. Should we go res them? Looks like they're just AFK. Maybe they fell asleep. There they are. Thought they fell asleep. Aren't we supposed to be getting a mastery point? Okay. Kitty kitty. Mastery point. So we got the POI, we got the mastery point. What's next? We should probably head to this waypoint. Then we can backtrack. Liminal conduit. What is this enemy? It's invulnerable. Oh. That is helping. Okay, cool. What's this bear? Sell junk. Okay.
Ah, recognition.
We really haven't involved ourselves in fishing
The storm
in this game.
is even more. Our time for preparations will escape us soon.
Let's see where we can go next. Wow, there's so many locations around here. I see. Okay. Well, in that case, I guess it's fine to go around maybe clockwise. Get all these POIs. It's a very big map. How am I supposed to get up there? Oh, don't need to. Okay. What's this? Waterproof chest. Town notice. All villagers report to the inn. Given the risen security threat and environmental instability on the Isle, all villagers are required to report to the inn by nightfall. Each individual may bring one personal effect so long as it fits on your person. The White Mantle will provide any other necessary supplies, such as food, bedding, and clothing. This is for storage purposes, as the inn was not built to house this many patrons. We appreciate your patience and remember that your longevity is assured by Saul's Golden Trail. Yeah. Saul. Okay, maybe go here. Ah. How do I get up there? Can I land here? Oh, I see it. So I guess we go out to sea and then head back north, and there's a mastery down there. Charge Titan ore. Janthir Sentry Insight, Thunder Bay Overlook completed. Alright.
Storm roars on the horizon. Collect yourselves.
Another mastery point. What else? Two more over here. Did we not get this one? How did we not get that one? What? I've been wanting to do a Let's Play for Borderlands 2, especially for the Invincibles, but also I wanted to document like the full campaign for Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. I've never posted that, and it's one of the more enjoyable single-player experiences I've had in a long time.
Rigid we must remain.
Although it was a long time ago.
Broken. They've come to dance in the rain. Our one and only goal is to protect the camp. Every claw and spear. Raise them to the air.
Yeah.
Go. Fight. Win.
So we grab that one and we double back here to grab this. But Gibbed is not being nice, and being able to start a fresh UMVC, wait, Ultimate Vault Hunter, UVHM, being able to start a fresh UVHM with a full loadout is actually quite complex. I don't really know how to reset Gibbed all the way through to UVHM. So that's been awkward. I'm still kind of trial and error for it, but yeah, haven't given up. Everything about Borderlands 2 for the campaign is just really, really, really cool. And I've never fought the Invincibles, for content. I've been carried through them a handful of times. Once I get it all sussed out and can actually activate a decent save file, the goal is not to be super overpowered, it's actually just to have the Pimpernel playstyle. I very much enjoy Sniper Zero with Pimpernel. And so having the 4 Pimpernels and just doing Ultimate Vault Hunter mode is something I want to do. I'm glad that I played through it, and I'm glad that I was encouraged to play it. It is kind of sad to know that Borderlands 2 is the best Borderlands out of all. And I don't have high hopes for any other future iterations of the game based on Borderlands 3. Call me based, I guess. Oh crap, there's one all the way over here. We need to get this. Let's go grab it. And I would love to be proven wrong, but I don't see enough value in comparison to Borderlands 2 for Borderlands 3. And I have very, very low expectations of Borderlands 4. So why not revisit Borderlands 2 and make a series about it. But it is hard to edit Gibbed and get the exact loadout that we want. So navigating that problem is going to take some time. Looks like we're good to go now. The Sacred Heart still isn't finished. We can fight this and maybe finish it. Maybe? Oh god. Am I dead? What is this thing? Decima. Oh no. Decima in the wild is very different than Decima. Oh my god. That's so crazy. Bro, I can't even. No. What do you mean, bro? What is this? Here in the open world like this? Like, what the hell am I watching right now? 100% bro, I'm running. Bye. I ain't beating that alone. The hell? What kind of crap is this? Alright, I'm out of here. Kitty, kitty. I gotta find another way to get this XP. That gives us XP. It looks like killing nearly anything in this area will give us XP.
Vitality restored!
Portobello mushroom. Ooh, there's a small boss here, hopefully. Kitty kitty. Alright. It's a crab. It's a crab boss. Champion crab. Sweet.
High top. Exhilarating!
Looks like we're getting there. What is this?
6 feet tall!
Rotted Titan Amber. Okay. I'm gonna be getting out of here pretty soon. I have some cooking to do. A buddy has reminded me of my goals for exercise, and I have not been consistent with them. So maybe we do a little exercise today. It's been so hot, it's easy to make excuses about it, but yeah. It's definitely something that'll snowball. You just need to exercise a little bit each day. Build up the momentum. Almost there.
Health increasing!
Did we get there? I think we got there. Let's go see.
It was completely preventable. Your friend very likely won't be returning to the field now.
A burn. How dramatic, you Sky Watchers are.
A burn? No. His fur was singed from paw to shoulder. Ah, Wayfinder, welcome back. We were just
That is
discussing
all.
an incident.
Dustbringer will be fine. Do you think this is the first time we've done such things?
Health increasing!
I guess we're still not quite there? Wow. It's harder to get this Sacred Heart than I expected. There we go. So, what are we supposed to do here? Welcome back. Looking to buy, are you? Can you let me know how I'm doing? Show renowned heart mastery. What have you got? Do you have any extra lighting rods? I have my own research to conduct. Interesting. Looking to find out more about these strangers, are you? Go ahead. Have some. I've got plenty. Oh. Construct lighting rod. Plant a lighting rod near a conductive mineral formation to test redirecting lightning strikes. Okay. We're not close enough to a conductive mineral deposit. Okay. Over here somewhere. You are not close enough to a conductive mineral deposit. Is this a conductive mineral deposit? Conductive mineral deposit. There's one.
That should do it.
Oh, that's cool. How many more of those are there? There's one.
Accelerate!
Well, we'll have to see. Plant lighting rods near conductive mineral formations to test redirecting lightning strikes.
6 feet tall! That should do it. Bites to the bone!
Looks like we just need a few more.
want to be too close when the storm starts up.
What depraved abominations they are, leaving nothing behind except the smells of death and rain. But they're gone. For now. The storm moves on, and so must we. Let us regroup and prepare for the next attack. There will be another.
So,
Everything you described. Footprints, storms, wildfires sparking at random. This isn't natural.
Right? And the Astral Ward are tracking activity along the lightning rods. They're getting struck with a higher frequency near the northern shore.
Then we should head out immediately. See if we can track this thing down. Are you up for another fight? Want to sit this out?
No, I'm coming with you. Focus helps with clarity. Lead the way.
ooh. Storm clouds over Janthir completed. Huh.
I knew I'd achieve this.
Alright.